Little bit prophecy.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Vanachari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Vanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Sankirtan ki jai. Okay, so devotees can tell few points of what are topics that we discussed on happiness and and not happiness without seeing. Close कीजिए मोबाइल. So what all we discussed?
Last 1 month,
Huh?
last 1 month I was not there.
You're not there, okay.
So,
so in the last paragraph, is like Prabhupada describes, God is a supreme eternity. So we like if we taken the name, then we are creating relation between the.
अरे नहीं, वो क्वेश्चन क्या है? क्वेश्चन में पूछा था कि नो रिलेटेड टू हैप्पीनेस, what all things we studied in this chapter?
Happiness we are getting through the senses only.
Not only senses. Through the senses, okay, we are perceiving happiness through the senses, okay, fine.
so called advertisements in real life, in TV also we can advertisements tells told that this is the happiness, but real time happiness that is not real.
Okay, fine, good.
And for the different livings, they are all happiness depends on the degree of consciousness.
Degree of developed consciousness, उसके ऊपर that is good. And
Means we are searching for the eternal happiness, but this temporary world or temporary things.
okay, there was some point in this relation to it. No, the real happiness is on the eternal plane, and the real happiness cannot be found in this temporary plane. Okay, then?
That bamboo example, that man was searching for the sugar cane and he was eating that. So we are just searching for happiness, but we are enjoying things that are painful to us.
We are searching for happiness in a wrong place, where we will not get the happiness. It appears that's similar to it, but we will not get it there.
Material world, we have the
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Stone and tree, they have their consciousness of it, but human beings have different consciousness. Human beings could not stay long at the tree. That was different type of consciousness.
Okay. So what is specifically mentioned in the example of tree standing for a long time? Come, in center also people can come. So what is this one example of tree standing for a long time? The difference of happiness, no? What is the difference of happiness? The tree, is it happy standing there?
They don't have that level of consciousness. So they think that
He's happy. So he's standing in the sun and rain and things like that for a long time, but still he thinks he is happy. So, but then a person with developed consciousness, for him that is not happiness.
Another example is that animal slaughter. So next one animal is
Getting killed.
Another is chewing the grass, green grass, and they thought that animal no longer will not come.
How is it related to us? सब लोग मर रहे हैं फिर भी हम लोग सोच रहे हैं कि हम जिएंगे है ना? So like that, yeah.
And in material we have the happiness, but that is like light flickering, not but for the time means for a moment. Materially we get the happiness, but not for the long term. It's just like a light flickering.
Flickering happiness. Happiness is there. It is not that there is no happiness in the material world. It is there, but then it is very flickery. No, it is not permanent. Any other points?
The limited sense of things. We can
up to a certain extent we can enjoy things using our senses. So we cannot avail happiness from it's leaving that go from a thing we are happy for now. But for a long time we will stress.
This is differential, this one that works. When we are having some misery, if we experience some other misery, that appears to be happy. Because like I've got released from this previous misery. So like that. So in this way, like we can see that there is a differential thing. So in the material world, happiness is absence of misery is considered to be happiness. You know. So like it is real happiness. Actually, people tell that no, we are happy. No, we got so many happy moments. Like when we went to the hotel and ate. No, it was so nice. When we went to a theme park or something like that, or going out, something we felt happiness. So, but it is actually a change of environment. That's all. So the real capacity of happiness, what is there in the living entity, that's so much. Is there in the living entity. So, but we are not getting any of it actually. So, like that, the example of tree, again we have to take into consideration. The tree is standing there and it is thinking happy, but then a person with the more advanced consciousness, he is thinking it is a miserable situation. So, in the same way, like we are thinking this position is happy. So people who are more developed consciousness than us, they are thinking are a miserable life. He's living such a miserable life. Pooh, you come this side only, Pooh. It'll be easy for me to see. Sit on the mat, Pooh. Don't sit on the mat. Okay. Yeah. So in that way, like, so now we'll just see this and we'll recap. So everyone is searching for happiness. Very few people are happy. Real happiness is beyond temporary things, and real happiness is described in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this point nobody told. Real happiness is described in Bhagavad Gita. Then happiness perceived through our senses, and happiness is experienced according to the degree of developed consciousness. So how much consciousness is increased, that much we can actually perceive happiness. And grade of happiness depends on the grade of species. This, does it have any relation with the previous point? Development of consciousness and species?
Depends on the karma.
No. Is development of consciousness related to species? Yes, no? Yeah. So like each species have a little more developed consciousness. So you might have come across this shloka somewhere in Prabhupada's book. Often Prabhupada used to quote, Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavara Laksha Vimshati, Kramayo Rudra Sankhyaha, Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam, Trimshal Lakshani Pasavaha, Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. So this is like different, this ones. And this is also based on the development of consciousness. The lowest most is the aquatics. So the aquatics are the, this one like Jalaja Navalakshani. There are 9 lakh species in the water. And then Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavara Laksha Vimshati. Vimshati means what? 20 ना? कैसा पता चला? 20 बोलते हैं हाँ. तो ओडिया में भी ऐसा होता है. ये संस्कृत का ये numbers है. No? Laksha Vimshati means 20 lakhs. So in the this one in the plant, Stavara Laksha Vimshati. And then Krimayo Rudra Sankhyaha. So that is in reptiles, insects and reptiles. Both are in same family actually. Insects and reptiles. They are 11 lakh species. And then Pakshinam Dasha Lakshanam. So in birds and flying animals, so they are like 10 lakhs. And then Trimshal Lakshani Pashavaha. So there are 30 lakhs 4-legged animals. And then 4 lakh species of humans. So this includes all the devatas and different kinnaras, kinpurushas, so many different categories are there. So all of them put together, 4 lakh different species so are there. So all of them are based on evolution of consciousness. So like as the consciousness is evolved, even amongst the human beings, those who are cultured, they are like little on a higher level. So it is mentioned that people who are not following any this one adharmic, so they are of one level of this consciousness. And then there are dharmic people. And dharmic people like who follow like if somebody wants, they can make a note of this one. It's a very interesting this one progression actually. So you all have studied yoga ladder, na? So this is little extended yoga ladder, you know. So आगे पीछे थोड़ा extra fitting है इसका. So one is adharmic, है ना? So adharmic मतलब no rules and regulations. हाँ. So then there are followers of some rules and regulations, but man-made rules and regulations. No. So man-made rules and regulations. No, like the common government and things like that. No. So they are not followers of God. So, but there are certain rules and regulations by which the people live. No, they are called civilized people. So this is little more developed consciousness. Yes, I must follow the rules and regulations. Why I must follow? Why I must follow rules and regulations?
We are living in a society.
We are living in a society. So, how many of you have lived in an apartment kind of an environment or a community kind of an environment? So, in apartment, the moment apartment is created, so immediately there is a society or some association is created, and the association puts rules and regulations. In even some 10 families staying together, they have to put rules and regulations. इतना बड़ा दुनिया है, इसको rules and regulations नहीं होगा, you know. So naturally, like, okay, so state has its rules and regulations, no. Village panchayat has rules and regulations. Everywhere, no, because we have common resources, and all of us share common resources. No, there must be some rules and regulations. So this is little more developed consciousness, no, and even more developed consciousness is that coming to God-given rules and regulations. No, this is man-made rules and regulations. When we come to the level of God-given rules and regulations, no one is following, okay, इतना बड़ा दुनिया बनाया, मतलब no कोई ना कोई तो like no इसको संभालने वाला होंगे, and no वो कुछ तो rules दिए होंगे, उसको follow करना चाहिए. And that is when we will be able to be in peace, है ना? So if we don't follow rules and regulations, we cannot get any peace. No, this is very important. So that is next level of consciousness. And then in that comes karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga and bhakti yoga. Like, no, that's the evolution of consciousness actually. And as the consciousness develops, that much deeper happiness a living entity can have. No? So a person following bhakti yoga, he can actually experience more deeper level of happiness because he is able to get a deeper level of consciousness, no awakening of consciousness. So he can get deeper level of happiness also. You know. So then we saw that one has to be intelligent to enjoy happiness. No, like one of the sign of development of consciousness is, so highly developed consciousness means good amount of intelligence also will be there, right? So this is also a connected point. So intelligence must be there to enjoy. So if a person is like less intelligent, he cannot actually enjoy. Real enjoyer is the spirit soul. So body and senses is just like the apparatus only. So, and actual enjoyer is the spirit soul. So that we saw. And then the spirit always has the potency to enjoy and unable to enjoy due to covering of material covering. And then spirit soul has the senses through which it can enjoy. So it doesn't require the external material body's senses. And then God has a transcendental body, and his and thus soul also has that. So because we are part and parcel of God, if God has senses, we also have senses. So then, real happiness is experienced by transcending the material senses. No, yogis actually they do that. So on the material plane, we cannot get real happiness, and intelligent persons, they refrain from the flickering happiness of material things. So it is like a trade-off. If you engage for this cheaper happiness, then you will not get the deeper happiness. So you lose the opportunity for deeper happiness. So one who gives up the lower happiness, only he can get the higher happiness. No, this is the trade-off that is there. And source of all the spiritual happiness is the Supreme Lord. And this is also a very nice point, that when we connect with the Supreme Lord, so we become happy. Did we discuss about that sweet rice wala example? Huh? No. Sweet rice, sugar and sweet rice. Sukarupa Sukhadhara Sarkara Pindavanmatam Sri Krishna Charanadvandam Sukham Brahma Tu Kevalam. So this is a shloka on happiness. It says that Sukarupa and Sukhadhara. So there are two things are there. Source of happiness and form of happiness. And that is explained through source of sweetness and form of sweetness, which we can actually understand. So source of sweetness and form of sweetness. So form of sweetness means you put in the mouth, you'll get sweet. No, source of sweetness means you can add that to another preparation and make it sweet. है ना? तो sugar is in which category? Form and source also. And sweet rice? It's only form, not source. You cannot add sweet rice to another preparation and make it sweet. It is not possible. है ना? So in this way, you see that like we can be happy. No, but what is the source of happiness? Source of happiness is Krishna. So he is the form of happiness and he is the source of happiness. So but then all other places where you find happiness, so that cannot make you happy. No, that can be happy, but no, it cannot make you happy. If a happy person is there, so he cannot make you happy until unless you also get connected to Krishna. No, so that's the thing that this shloka is trying to put forward. So like Sri Krishna Charanat Dvandvam Sukham Brahma tu Kevalam. So like in this shloka it's talking about Brahman, no, or the Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is definitely a form of happiness, but it cannot give you happiness. No, because like that's the state of Brahma Jyoti. What to speak about anything else in this world? So nothing can give us happiness except for Krishna. No, so that's a very powerful point. So when we connect with Krishna, so that's why nobody in ISKCON will tell like, I will make you happy. No, you chant, you will become happy. No, you chant the names of Krishna, you get in touch with Krishna, so then you will become happy, right? So it's a very nice point. The source of happiness is the Supreme Lord. No, and source of all the things are no Supreme Lord. And when we study categorically, so now we are studying about happiness. So the source of happiness is the Supreme Lord. And connection with the source of happiness, so is called Rasa Leela. No, so like when a living entity is in connection with the Supreme Lord, so then that is an exchange of relationship. So in that exchange of relationship with the Supreme Lord, only we can actually become happy. No, otherwise we cannot become happy, right? So this is some this one. And what is not happiness? So in this world, so much is advertised about happiness. No, if you buy this, you will become happy. Buy that, you will become happy. You will never become happy. No, the real happiness is no real happiness is there in the material world, and happiness does not last long in the material world. And body is definitely not the happiness. Rather, it is the source of suffering. Just like Bhagwan, Lord is the source of happiness, and this body is the source of suffering. In fact, in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is nice discussion of Ajamil. The pastime of Ajamil comes, and in that the Yamadutas are trying to take Ajamil, soul of Ajamil. And towards the end of his life, somehow or other, he chanted the names of Narayan. So Vishnu Dutas also came. And they stopped them and they told and Yamadutas told, so why are you stopping from our duty? So what is your duty? जो भी अधर्म करते हैं उसको लेके जाते हैं हम. So then you define adharma, what is dharma, what is adharma, and they nicely define whatever is given in the scriptures is dharma and whatever is against it is adharma, right? And all the people who have taken birth in this world, like in some way or other they do adharma and we just freely come and claim and go. Nobody has ever stopped us till now. आप लोग कौन है अभी आके रोकने के लिए? So they used to ask like that. And in that conversation they actually tell, this body is designed for giving punishment or giving suffering to the living entity. जो भी past कर्म हम लोग किए हैं, उसके हिसाब से दंड देने के लिए ये body दिया गया. इसमें पिटाई करने के लिए. And इसको लेके हम बोल रहे हैं कि एंजॉयमेंट मिल रहा है. अरे किस बात की एंजॉयमेंट मिल रहा है पता नहीं. So this body itself is given for giving out our punishments. So like that. So this is source of misery actually. The body is source of misery. You see what comes out of this body. What comes out of this body? Saliva is untouchable. Urine is untouchable. Stool is untouchable. And all सब कुछ there was a joke. One guy, he had he passed stool, and then he was telling her, itna baas maar raha hai. Then stool started speaking to him. Dekho, I was a nice feast. I came in touch with you, I became like this. So now you imagine who is actually किसका गंध ज़्यादा है. So anyways,
Go back for the source of the life for the kid. From the same body the mother milk is coming. So that is
Yeah, some good things are there. If you weigh, no, something good is coming, but then lot of bad is coming. And that milk, how much time it will come? It will come only for some 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 year. That's all, no maximum. But then other things, it keeps coming throughout the life. You know. So, and okay. So unintelligent person does not know the source of happiness and he searches for it in the material world. It is like chewing the bamboo. Now instead of sugar cane, bamboo also looks like sugar cane. तो उसको लेके chew करेंगे तो उनको like juice नहीं मिलेगा. So like that. So this is still paragraph 8. No, we did that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. ठीक है. So we will do this exercise full for this chapter and then we'll move to the next. Okay, so study the next paragraph, the process for establishing oneself in real happiness, and bring about points for happiness and not happiness. Bring about these 2 points. Maybe you can do 2 paragraphs. Till material entanglement. You have in your this one, be easier. You can share with somebody. Okay, I'll just do my Gayatri by then, so you'll pick up the points.
Which chapter is this?
First chapter.
I have shared in my group.
Okay. So you all found the points? Okay. Rapid fire. Quickly you can tell.
We can distinguish between what is the true happiness and false happiness by practicing the process of Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata. Where is that? Here. Okay.
Once we taste the happiness of Krishna.
Okay, so now we'll put in this one, paragraph 9. Only in paragraph 9, what all things are there?
By practicing, you will get a real intelligence. By practicing Krishna consciousness, we will get a real intelligence.
Real intelligence we will get. Okay. So one proportionate, this one is mentioned, no? Naturally. So when you practice Krishna consciousness, that will develop real intelligence, and so that will lead to relish spiritual happiness. So, like how much you have started relishing spiritual happiness, that much you will be able to give up material misery. No, so that goes proportionately. No. Krishna. Okay. Then?
As we progress in the Krishna consciousness, we can see the detachment from the false happiness.
Okay, so this is like same proportional only, this is also proportional spiritual happiness versus detachment. So detachment, it's like not kind of the Krishna conscious person, when he does detachment, it is not like kind of a painful detachment. So as you leave behind things which you don't like, that way, like it is something which you don't like, you just leave it. So like that. So this detachment from the material world automatically happens. It is not something forceful. It is mentioned that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ash Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadhaitukam. So this, when Bhakti Yoga is practiced, so it gives birth to two things. So like Jnanam and Vairagyam. The knowledge and detachment. So these two are byproducts of, any yoga system. You do Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, everything, these two things are coming. But in Bhakti Yoga, this comes in a very greater proportion. So the knowledge and detachment. So these two things comes in a greater proportion. And this is a very nice shloka. So you can remember, it's almost like Hindi only. Yam labdva. Isko labh karne mein. Yam labdva. So cha param labham. So cha param. Param means superior. Superior. Cha param labham. Manyate na adhikam tata. So like yam labdva, isko प्राप्त करने में, इसको लाभ करने में, so क्या होता है? So cha param labham manyate na adhikam tata. So इससे बढ़कर और कुछ मुझे नहीं मिल सकता है. So I've got the best of the things. So that is this one. So that is a feeling a person gets when he advances in Krishna consciousness. So but in the material world, whatever profit you get, you think that more profit I should get, and that this one is there. But in this, like a kind of, this one comes that No, a positive side hankering may be there, but then there is a good amount of satisfaction. Very, very deep levels of satisfaction actually a living entity gets. So by advancing in Krishna consciousness. So, okay. When one attains that stage, other achievements appear insignificant. That is, na manyate na adhikam tata. There is nothing more greater than this one. So, in the material world, we are trying to achieve so many riches, so many things: riches, women, fame, beauty, knowledge, etc. But as soon as we are situated in Krishna consciousness, we think, oh, no achievement is better than this. This is like really very great. So because Krishna consciousness is so potent, a little taste can save one from the greatest danger. And one can begin to relish the taste of Krishna consciousness. As one begins to relish the taste of Krishna consciousness, he begins to see all other so-called enjoyments as flat and tasteless. So this is like in the paragraph 10. So this is okay. So then and if one is situated firmly in Krishna consciousness, the greatest danger cannot disturb him. There are so many dangers in life because the material world is a place of danger. We tend to close our eyes to this, and and because we are foolish, we try to adjust things to these dangers. We may have many dangerous moments in our life, but if we are training ourselves in Krishna consciousness and preparing ourselves to go back home, back to Godhead, we will not care for them. Our attitude will be, dangers come and go, so let them happen. It is very difficult to make this kind of adjustment as long as one is on the material platform and identifying with the gross body, which is composed of perishable elements. But the more one advances in Krishna consciousness, the more he becomes free from bodily designations and this material entanglement. So when in the bodily level, any dangers come, we will be disturbed. We will be terrified. So, but if we advance in Krishna consciousness, any dangers come, we will not be terrified. Dangers aate rehte, like no problem. So Bhagavan handle karenge. So like that. So we'll have this one on that. Okay, next paragraph. Already somebody has worked on these points. We thought of working on and coming now. कुछ points निकालें आप? Okay. Anybody else made points from these paragraphs? Okay. ठीक है, तो फिर study कीजिए अच्छे से. ये book, ये chapter, it should become like fully thorough, and especially this topic of happiness. So you should know like end to end, how and where to expect, and things like that, so that you will not be frustrated looking for happiness elsewhere. Okay. Yes. Next paragraph. In this, directly it is not pertaining to happiness. But then how the Lord can actually help us to get to that happy situation. So this material world is a great ocean of misery, and just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, one may have a doubt, how I'll be freed from all the miserable situation. So that is getting clarified in this one. It's a great ocean of misery. So it is on the other side we can actually write. Hmm?
Paragraph 8 or 11 under
Hmm. 9 and 10 we didn't write in this section. Material world is a great ocean of misery. No? And so Lord's lotus feet, can actually help us cross this ocean of misery. How it is possible? Hmm?
By taking the shelter of.
The whole of the universe is resting on the lotus feet of the Lord. So, and if you take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, the whole of the world becomes so small, that easily you can cross over. So like that. Okay. Next paragraph. Another great source of misery is described here. What is that? So, and what else? Uncontrolled senses and? In the shloka translation, one more element is mentioned. Mind. Uncontrolled senses and mind. So mind control is a very big topic. So many people give big seminars on this. So how does this mind control is done? In this regard? Okay, in yoga what has been taught to us? Okay.
Without mind.
5 senses and mind, including that 6 senses it becomes. If you tell 6 senses, mind is also included in that.
It is telling that mental speculations will come, we should leave all that aside and
Simply focus. So the sense control comes from, see, if you keep your senses uncontrolled, then naturally mind will be heavily disturbed. So mind will be heavily disturbed. So this, like one important, this one map that you need to understand, how the mind and the senses actually work in tandem. It's a very, very tight connection. The mind is the master of all the senses. And if you give any input to the senses here, it affects the mind. So somebody may say like, okay, fine, if I watch a pornography, what's wrong? Like I'll just watch and I'll not be disturbed. So can it be possible? No. So you watch, you expose your senses, and what gets affected is the mind. And how does it get affected? So you should understand this one interesting what is that exercise is made. One nice looking mango is kept, and the moment you see the mango, you start developing taste for it, like you want to taste it. And then the person takes the mango and he tries to bite and he finds it to be a rubber mango. Okay. So now it's a rubber mango, it's not the actual mango, but what made your taste buds awaken and all these things? Actual sense object that you're looking for is not there. But how did all the reaction happen in your body?
Impression of original mango.
Huh?
Impression of the original mango which we had before in our mind made.
The actual sense object is in the mind. you already started enjoying the sense object in the mind, right? So external things only triggers the sense objects which is there in your mind. You know? So external things, like it actually triggers the remembrance of that sense object, and it actually activates. You don't even need to indulge even a thought about it. No, even just hearing about it. No, it can just take your mind off, no, completely. So that is a power of the mind actually. The mind is like, if you want to, sometimes it is compared to a like calm lake. No, in the calm lake, no, अगर पत्थर फेंकेंगे तो क्या होगा? It will form ripples and it will shake. No, it will get completely disturbed. The whole thing will get disturbed. So what can be compared to throwing of stones into the lake in our condition, if mind is considered to be the lake? And what is compared to the throwing of stones? Exposing our senses to the sense objects. No, that's this one. And like, then if you don't expose your senses to the sense objects, how will you survive? For survival, you have to use your senses and coming in contact with sense objects. Every day you have to see things, every day you have to touch things, every day you have to eat things, so many things you have to do. So then how to do? If it's going to disturb your mind, no, should I starve and die? So what should I do?
Engage service of Lord.
So one is service of the Lord, that is best. If not that, at least karma yoga. At least bare minimum karma yoga. So there is an authorized way of using the senses and the sense objects, and it should be used in that way. If it is not used in that way, it is going to disturb the mind. No? So that's a very important one. Authorized way of bringing the senses and sense objects together. So like that we have to do. Otherwise the mind is going to be disturbed. No, that's a very important formula actually. So this uncontrolled senses, the senses, like the modern day definition of happiness is what? No, you have senses. No, like if you eat a gulab jamun, you are happy. And if you talk with a woman, you are like, it titillates you and it's, you are happy. So then just maximize that, like, you just engage your senses maximum in this one. Like, if you see something nice, so you go to films and this and that, and you keep watching so many things. So when you see something, you feel happy, and then just maximize it. So, but the problem is, like, we can see from the result, like people are completely frustrated. So they are not getting that kind of happiness what they are expecting over there. So why it is happening? Because this is not the way of happiness. The way of happiness is controlling the senses. The Vedic process says you control the senses, you will get deeper happiness. And the modern propaganda says you just unleash your senses, and as much as possible, like you just engage the sense objects and senses, you will become happy, right? So, and proof is like, we see that, time and again, great sadhus, they have never switched minds here and there and things like that. And they have been like very, very solidly fixed, and they are considered to be greatest happy people. In fact, we went to one program and we were coming back by metro. So one person came. He was fully drunk. And then he came and he asked, like, can I have some water? We gave little water to him, and then he went, and then again he came back and he told, how are you guys are so happy? You went to a bar and you are like fully on, and you didn't get happiness there. He was like asking, how are you guys happy? So like, and you people don't drink, don't like, how in this world you are happy, He was not able to comprehend that we are happy, So anyways, so this one is that like control of the senses, that's the way for happiness, So that is something like that we should strongly understand, that by sense control, when we are in the transition phase, from the material consciousness to spiritual consciousness, this will battle, So friends will come and say, like, why are you like, sacrificing your life? पागल है क्या, एंजॉय करने के एज में ये क्या माला पकड़ के इधर उधर घूम रहा है, बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, सब क्रेजी हो गया क्या, पागल हो गया, so they literally come and tell like that only. एंड बेचारा लाइक नो अभी तक कुछ टेस्ट नहीं आया कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में, वो सोचते हैं हाँ तो बोल रहे तो सही है. So, वो तो एंजॉय कर रहा है, मैं तो एंजॉय नहीं कर रहा हूँ. माला में भी कुछ टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन सो प्रोजी लोग बोलते रह रहे हैं कि लेकिन इसको छोड़ो, लेकिन हैप्पीनेस मिलेगा, लेकिन कब मिलेगा पता नहीं. ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत कर लेते हैं. सो this is this one, like when we change, when we shift gears, it takes some time, to actually experience that happiness, right? So nobody comes like that and tells to us, my friends who used to tell like that, now they fear to come close. No? अरे इसके पास जाएंगे तो बदल देंगे. हमारा एंजॉयमेंट हम प्रोटेक्ट कर लेंगे, है ना. So like that. So it is, when we start having enjoyment, in that platform, so then it becomes like, then naturally, like, we come to that platform. Yam ladva chaparam lapam manyate nadikam tata. So nothing more higher than this we can actually achieve. So that kind of, this one actually comes. So for this, the process of Krishna consciousness has to be properly applied. So what is the proper application of the process? Chanting the names of the Lord, taking shelter of the Lord. So when we take shelter of the Lord and properly apply the process, so that, I don't know how many of you had attended those sessions of prayer, gratitude and things like that. No, you all attended, no? You attended. So you also attended, no? So those aspects are very essential. There is a particular way of executing the Krishna consciousness is there. So not that, simply mala gumane mein like, happiness mil jayega. No, it is not like that. So in a particular way, we have to associate. We need to understand who the Lord is, who are we, and what is our position. And then it is not something that ki like, dukaan mein jaake kharid ke aa jayenge. No, वैसा नहीं है. So Lord has the right to give. He may give or he may restrict. Anyways, it is only with the mercy of the Lord actually we get it. So we just don't artificially grab the happiness. So we depend on the mercy of the Lord, and then we get this one. We get the mercy of the Lord, and that actually deeply satisfies the heart. So it's a very, very, very very nice way of executing that. This one is there. In the process of Krishna consciousness is there. So this taking shelter of the Lord, it is actually in one of the future sessions we'll cover, but just to give a overall this one. So what it means to take shelter of the Lord, so it means 6 things. So one is anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam, and then rakshaishi iti vishwasho, goptatva varnam tata, atmanikshepa karpanya. So these 6 things are there. So what is favorable for Krishna consciousness, we should accept it. How we will know what is favorable? How we will know what will take? Scriptures. Scriptures are this one. So books, now we are studying the books. So now we are understanding. Like, practically speaking, engaging the senses and sense objects, we get happiness. But in the books it is told, control of the sense will give you greater happiness, which you may not be able to see right now, but still you should apply that. So that's how the process works. So just like, if you study, you will get big package. LKG का स्टूडेंट पूछता है लाइक पैकेज किधर है, आएगा 14 years 15 years के बाद में आएगा, है ना. So like that. So it is this in that way, like in every process it is like this. First we have to invest certain time and energy and then put the process in place. So then after some time we start getting the results. That's how all the process works, right? So this, what is favorable for Krishna consciousness, we should accept. And what is the second rule could be? Which is unfavorable, we should reject. So that also we get from the scriptures, do's and don'ts. So that we get from the scriptures. And then how to execute this do's and don'ts? So with some very important principle, that is rakshaishi iti vishwasha. So if I follow these things, the Lord will protect me in any condition. There will not be such a situation which even Lord cannot help me. वैसा situation नहीं होगा. So Lord will help me or Lord will protect me in any situation. So that vishwasha, rakshaishi iti vishwasha. And then goptatva varnam tata. So that is this Lord is my maintainer. He is going to maintain me. Like it is not the job that I am doing is going to maintain me. The Lord is my maintainer. No, if I do the devotional service to Him, somehow or other Lord will make sure that my maintenance is taken care of. And then Atma Nikshepa, using the best of the things in one's capacity in the service of the Lord, and Karpanya, maintaining the mood of humility. So if we have these 6 things, no, there is great detail is there. So to these things. So but if we have in overall, no, if we apply the 6 things, and then with this 6 things, if we chant, if with this 6 things, if we study the books, with this 6 things, if we do some service to the Lord, then we make progress in Krishna consciousness. This is the process by which to approach. So in a simpler form, we had presented these things in the form of gratitude and prayer. And for that a lot of prerequisites, it covers these elements actually. So like we should have the gratitude that key, like this opportunity to render devotional service. What qualification do I have to render devotional service? I don't have any qualification. It is simply the mercy of the Lord. And then when we are able to execute the devotional service, and when we are actually feeling the reciprocation of the Lord in the form of bliss in the heart, so then we should thank the Lord. It is not something that I could have got it. It is simply by your mercy. I have got this simply by your mercy. So thank you, my Lord. So when we apply these 2 principles, gratitude and the prayer, you will find that the execution of devotional service really start giving fruits. So it's a very, very powerful this one. So one core principle in this is like Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grahyam Indriye. So by my material senses, I will not be able to access the Lord's holy name, form, pastimes and things like that. But Sevam Makehi Jivado Swayam Eva Spuratyada. Just by rendering service and pleasing Him, He will reveal Himself. So that's the way we actually do this one. It's just like if you are in need of money, and if there is a rich person is there, तो उसके पास जाके ले कह रहे तुम्हारे पास पैसा पड़ा है ना तो दे दो. What he will do? चलो मुझे पता है क्या करना है मेरा पैसों को लेके, है ना, तुमको क्यों दूंगा. But if we ask in a nice way, and if he's a charitable person, and if you ask in a nice way, he will definitely give. So that's the right way of approaching. So when we render service to the Lord, and then the Lord reveals Himself. And when the Lord reveals Himself, that's the greatest happiness for us. So this all the knowledge or development of consciousness and all these things is compared to the revelation of the Lord. So more the Lord reveals Himself, more the clarity. So Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai Andhakar. So Krishna is like equivalent to the sun, and Maya is equivalent to the darkness. And like when there is sun is there, automatically darkness is dispelled. So automatically Maya is dispelled. So your development of consciousness means what? How much of revelation of the Lord is there? So it's actually development of consciousness comes by revelation of the Lord. So more the revelation of the Lord, more developed consciousness. And more developed consciousness means more intelligence means more happiness. So that's how it goes. And how does it happens? How this development of consciousness happens? By the revelation. And how the Lord reveals? By seva. So by service, we get the revelation of the Lord, and by the revelation of the Lord, we get higher perception of intelligence and higher happiness. So just by rendering service to the Lord and pleasing Him in the right way, so then we get we get the greatest happiness. It's a very powerful this one. So in this connection, I would like to just show you one nice this one. So this is something even Kartikeya also had released a video. Some of you would have seen this. So I will. Okay. So this logo, everybody are able to see this logo? Huh? So it's a very, very technical subject, but still I'll explain to how much you people can understand. So there are 2 divisions that are there in this. One is left hand side and right hand side. So left hand side में क्या लिखा हुआ है? राइट हैंड साइड में राग, है ना. So what is there in the center is Om Nama. So that is the Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord has 6 opulences. What are the 6 opulences of the Supreme Lord?
Knowledge,
Beauty, knowledge, power. Huh?
spirituality,
नहीं.
vairagya.
Vairagya. Vairagya. No. Shri, Yasha, fame. And then, so all this jnana, knowledge, vairagya, and all these things which are mentioned. So this is, the holy name is non-different from the Supreme Lord, and it has all these 6 opulences. So Aishwaryasha, Shamagrasya, Viryasha, Yashasha, Shriya, Jnana, Vairagyas, Chaiva, Shannamagai, Tingana. So these are the 6 opulences. Wealth, Aishwaryasha, Viryasha, like this the what is that, strength, and Yasha, fame, Shriya, beauty, and Jnana, knowledge, and Vairagya, renunciation. All these 6 opulences are there. And how is this Lord worshipped? How are we supposed to worship this Lord? So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is considered to be one of the associates of Radha and Krishna. Directly an associate of Radha and Krishna. He had come to deliver this message of Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. So he has designed this Gaudiya Math logo, and Gaudiya Math is his institution. And he has designed this, and it's a very, very scientific, this one. So one side is Pancharatra. Pancharatra is the book guiding the deity worship, and we worship the lordships as Lakshmi Narayan and using Vidhi Marga. Vidhi Marga means like by rules and regulations. And how do we do? By Archana. We use Pancharatra book, worship Lakshmi Narayan with the Vidhi of Archana, right? And then on the other side, it is Raga Marga. Raga Marga means what? Developing spontaneous attraction to Krishna. Only somebody who has this, they will be able to go to the association of Radha and Krishna. So this is a very important, this one. So this, in the future, like you will understand this in a detailed way. So one side is Bhagavatam, and this Radha and Krishna has to be worshipped, in the Raga Marga. How do we worship Radha and Krishna? By study of Bhagavatam and by doing Kirtan. Mridanga is there. By doing Kirtan. And what is this object next to Mridanga? Printing press. So book distribution is also a sadhana and Raga Marga. So by distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, we will develop spontaneous attraction to Radha and Krishna. Right? So that is something like which I wanted to just highlight. And this one, it's December month, like we are doing a lot of book distribution. So, and this is like a very important principle to be understood. So by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, by doing Kirtan, and by this one, by distributing books, like printing and distributing books, these are all like Acharya, who has come directly from the spiritual world, and he has designed this logo. Now we can understand, like the importance of the weightage, where it is given actually, So that's how powerful it is, Okay, so the sense control and mind control is a very important principle in terms of getting happiness. So like uncontrolled senses will give, senses and mind will give misery, so and the same thing. So this is sense control. It actually gives happiness. So this is a very important principle. So when next time when some friends ask, say like तुम पागल है, हम और कुछ experience कर रहे हैं, आपको नहीं पता है.
They are feeling like you get brainwashed there. My friend is feeling like, तुम weekend कैसे time pass करते हो? You get brainwashed there.
उसका दिमाग में गंदगी भरा हुआ है, उसका भी लेके आओ, वॉश करेंगे. फ्री सर्विस. गाड़ी का होता है ना सर्विस, ऐसा ओवर ऑयल करके भेजेंगे उसको. है ना? ठीक है. No, just next two paragraphs. Next two paragraphs. No, let's do. The mind is always disturbed. That one. Very powerful paragraph. You know? Very amazing paragraph. Okay. You all can share the points?
Sometimes mind is going here and there. We have to somehow bring back into Krishna consciousness. Once we practice this yoga, we can fix up into the Krishna consciousness, can control the mind.
Nice. Any other points?
The mind stays from Krishna consciousness. So many exchanges of this because from time immemorial, life after life, that has been our practice. Due to this, there will be great difficulty in the beginning when we try to fix them.
इतना सालों का आदत है, इतना जन्मों का आदत है, so it becomes very difficult to take it off. But if we apply to the process nicely, then we will be able to do. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, same point I was trying.
Okay, nice.
Mind is trying in this material world for happiness, which is temporary.
Okay. So this is also very important, this one. Like you might have, you all have gone through this session on advanced karma yoga, karma. Huh? Level 2? No, you did, no? Karma. So in that, karma cycle, it is images. Okay, so this is a very important diagram. Now, when you perform a sinful activity, so any activity which is against the scriptures is sinful activity, or any activity. For example, you just assume that any activity that is performed, what happens? There is two-prong reaction that comes. Two pipelines actually goes. One pipeline goes that you have to get the reaction for that action. तो now if you have किसी को धोखाबाजी किया, क्या होगा? तो कोई आके आपके साथ धोखाबाजी करेंगे, है ना? So like somebody will come and steal money from you. So because you stole money from somebody, so you have to also lose money. So that is there in the pipeline. But there is another pipeline. What is the other pipeline doing? Any guess?
It's increasing that tendency to commit that.
Yeah, it sows seeds for that tendency. How samskaras get developed? By your actions. You perform some action and through that samskaras get developed. So like now, if somebody is hesitating to commit a murder. Once he commits, twice he commits, then आदत हो जाएगा. No, वो करते रहेगा. उसके बाद बड़ा murderer बन जाएगा वो, है ना? तो like that. So this is one side the sinful desire, and that sinful desire will give rise to further papa. The original sin comes from ajnana. That's the root of all the sinful actions. So from ajnana, comes the sinful action, and from there the cycle keeps going on. So like that it goes into. So this is a very important thing that we need to understand, that any action that we perform, that it is sowing seeds for similar kind of actions to be performed in the future. So like that. So you are getting impetus to perform that action because maybe in the future, in the past you have did similar kind of actions, that is giving you impetus, and now you are acting on that impetus again. So that is going to make it more concrete. In the future, again you are going to do the same thing, right? So like that you get into the cycle actually. So to cleansing process, for the cleansing process, like Krishna consciousness can cleanse this. So, but if we can, avoid indulging on this further impetus, then it'll be better. So that's why these rules and regulations are there. We are caught up in a web actually. So here we should not hesitate to follow the rules and regulations. We should be enthusiastic to follow the rules and regulations, because through which we can actually come out. Once we are free, once we are liberated, then goodbye for all rules and regulations. We'll be happy. Till then we have to follow rules and regulations. It's very essential. So this is like this pond getting agitated, and then all the thoughts from the subconsciousness actually comes out. So all this is getting stored, every action that is performed. So all the impressions are getting stored, and just one remembrance is sufficient. Sara history khul jayega. So everything it becomes completely agitated. The mind gets agitated. So this is in the initial stages when we start practicing yoga. So it is something similar to this only, like it is like jadu marne ka jaisa. So when you put jadu on a room which is like for years it is not cleaned, so then what happens, dust actually comes up, and लगेगा कि मैं पहले अच्छा था, ये योगा प्रैक्टिस करके मैं बुरा हो गया. पहले तो इतना ज़्यादा thoughts नहीं आता था. अभी I am getting so many negative thoughts and things like that. Sometimes initial practitioners, they get this kind of this one. पहले तो लड़की के बारे में इतना नहीं सोच रहा था, अभी इतना ज़्यादा thoughts आ रहा है. मैं जब कर रहा हूँ कि क्या कर रहा हूँ, so मन ऐसा क्यों भटक रहा है. So then it is, what is the point? The point is that this one, we are trying to clean, and when we are trying to clean, the whole thing is getting agitated a lot. It's the cleansing process also introduces some level of agitation, and then the material nature also introduces some level of agitation. So this is going on. So when we when we apply the process of Krishna consciousness properly, what happens? This past impressions are getting cleansed, and then that is going to give us more peaceful existence. And for that, these rules and regulations are essential, so that when we are in the process of cleansing, we are not adding more gandagi, adding more dirt into it. So that's why it is very important. So it is, Prabhupada raises a nice question. There are so many do's and don'ts, so many don'ts and so many do's, and if one is serious about training the mind, he has to follow them. If he acts whimsically, what is the possibility of mind being controlled? When the mind is finally trained to the point where it will think of nothing but Krishna, it will attain peace and will become tranquil. So this is very important. So for this, one important thing that you have to do additionally, from your chanting, is study of scriptures. Study of books. If now we are getting so much of information from the book, so now if you study Bhagavad Gita, it is a step up, more more better knowledge than this you will get, or more deeper knowledge than this you will get. And if you study Bhagavatam and higher books, so you will get more and more deeper and deeper knowledge. And for that, the foundational knowledge is there in this book. These things has to be very solidly taken into account. What happens sometimes is people sometimes directly, you just go and study Bhagavatam, and that too study Bhagavatams, Krishna's Leelas and things like that and all. So then what happens? The basics is not correct. The sense control is not correct. So then when sense control is not properly established and chanting is not properly established, so then what happens is like, no, even though we may like be discussing about Radha Krishna's pastimes, so but then the effect will not be there. No, effect will be like something very cheap. No, so like that, it is very essential aspect that sense control is the first aspect that we need to get trained in. So the yogis whose mind is fixed on on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes the qualitative identity of with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all reactions to the past deeds. The remembrance of the Lord, it can destroy so much of karma. So much of karma gets destroyed just by remembrance of the Lord. That's the power of the Lord's remembrance. Okay, next paragraph. So I'm not taking notes now. So you people take notes and send later on. So we can finish this chapter today. Till the end of the chapter, we'll okay. What all the points?
Krishna is the real friend of every living entity.
What does a real friend do?
He remembers when the difficulty comes.
The patron comes for the help. So this is one of that taking shelter, the 6 things that we told, no? So in that one of it is, Krishna will protect me. That confidence must be there. Okay, what else?
By chanting her,
Mind can be controlled.
So what is the state of the mind? How it is?
Wild horse.
Wild horse. And it is always concocting various objects for happiness. So everyone in this world is looking for happiness. Even the mind is looking for happiness. Everyone is looking for happiness. So but happiness is not got. Because we are searching in the wrong place. So the mind is concocting objects. This can make me happy. That can make me happy. It is keep on inventing newer and newer objects for happiness. And how does it invent? How does the mind get an idea? Okay, this can make me happy. Past is one thing, okay. Past impressions. And then presently, how it happens?
Subject making him happy, that will
Watching others, okay. What else?
Tendency to enjoy.
Hearing from others. So Shravanam Kirtanam works there also. And it works here also. How does the mind get idea that if I get a big bungalow, I'll become happy? Because whole world is talking about it. How does the mind gets idea that if I get a beautiful girl with me, I'll be happy? Whole world is talking about it. So that Shravanam Kirtanam is the source of information, source of creating the conception. So now how do we know Krishna consciousness will make us happy? No, Shravanam only. By we are hearing and we are believing. So udhar wo bol raha, wo believe kar rahe na, and here Krishna is telling we are believing. So it is just matter of where we hear. If we do our reading and hearing nicely, so then our faith in Krishna consciousness will remain. But if we keep talking with all our outside people, outside friends and things like that, so then that only will be there. And that conception will get nicely created. And the mind will think, oh, this is what is happiness. And when we come to and if we have equal amount or something like that, then when we come here, like we'll think, अरे like no, ये तो लग रहा है कृष्णा ही happiness है. तो उधर जाएंगे like नहीं, तो हमें भी एक लड़की चाहिए, है ना? तो तभी happiness होगा, है ना? तो फिर ऐसा split हो जाता है ना? तो फिर then it becomes very difficult, है ना? So it is, this thing is that the mind is going to keep on concocting different objects of happiness based on what it has heard, based on what it has got exposure to. So if we spend time like with the books, if we spend time with Gita, so we will get the right conception of happiness and our mind will start thinking in that direction. So, but if we keep hearing outside world only, like outside world is like fully head on to go to hell. And so if we keep hearing them, like we will also go there. So, so we should see that, like our Shravanam, where is the Shravanam coming from? So one of the important Shravanam, important hearing is when we chant the names of the Lord, we should hear the names very clearly. So legibly we should chant and legibly we should hear. So when we do this thing, that hearing process will create such an impact, that our consciousness, our thought process will change. So otherwise normally like, many people ask this question, that Prabhuji like class में जब आता हो ना, सब समझ में आ रहा है. जब बाहर जाता हूँ तो like so it appeals that कि like वही सही है, so and then all that is like again in the class it appears to be like this is what is true, and again when I go out it becomes something else. So why? Because of switch of hearing. Like we hear from the outside world so much and then that makes our conception, so like that. So this process, if we can try to do this process of hearing the names of the Lord, and just like there are many different aspects of devotional service. In that primary is the chanting and kirtana. So the kirtana in two forms. One is like singing, another is distribution of books and chanting privately. So this is a very, very powerful methods of devotional service. Like and to keep faith in this, we are studying the Gita and other books associated with that. So now like when we do this Shravanam nicely, you will see that you have very deep levels of satisfaction and deep levels of happiness. So that's the this one. And when you do that, try to follow that principle of prayer. Before doing, like before starting to chant, so like it is your names, like oh my Lord, like your names are as good as you yourself, and I cannot forcibly access them. So I'm just like humbly begging to you that please you be available, you reveal yourself unto me in the form of your holy names. And then when you chant, and if the Lord answers your prayers and then He allows you to hear clearly, so then you offer gratitude. Even the opportunity to chant itself, you can actually offer gratitude. And then when you hear it clearly, so then it becomes really very nice. And then when you offer gratitude, then the cycle is completed. So then you will really feel really very elated. The whole process will become very nice. Okay. Any questions?
In material world also some yogis are there who can achieve that happiness. Like they are detached, completely detached from all material things. So they are actually in material world, but they are also feeling that happiness.
Who? Yogis. Yogis, they have started to control their senses, no? So when they start controlling their senses, they will experience happiness.
But materially, this happiness, only the real happiness can happen only at the spirit level. Material level, we cannot have it.
Yeah. But when you do sense control, see now, like spiritual level happiness we are talking about. So now, what is the difference between animal and a human being? So there is a little more awakening of consciousness has happened. So like even the human beings are able to get better level of happiness because of some level of spirituality. So they are not able to understand that it is spiritual strata that their happiness is coming from, it is because they have developed some level of consciousness. That's why they are able to get. And if they imitate the animals and try to act on that plane, so then they'll be given the animal body again. So like in human form of life also, they are trying to get same level of happiness as much as an animal can get. So then the material nature will say like, no, इसको ये करने के लिए human body दिया तुमको, उधर ही रहो तुम. So like that is also a spiritual this one actually. And when you try to control the senses, so then you unleash much more spiritual consciousness, and then that is just mechanical. And then still like when you actually try to follow like more spiritual practices, then the spiritual consciousness actually comes out more nicely.
That is the ultimate happiness compared to this material happiness.
Yeah. So it's like a fire. So same fire, like if it is covered by a thick covering, so you will not be able to see the fire at all. If it is covered by a thin covering, you will be able to see the fire. So it's just a matter of covering, thickness of the covering. So the consciousness is actually spiritual. So what actually comes out, in the form of consciousness, in the form of thought process, in the form of perception, it's actually coming from a spiritual cognition. So, but it is unnecessarily used on the material plane. So the revelation of consciousness comes from the spiritual plane. Like that.
Yeah, every source is coming from there only. And I have one more question, like the enjoyer of this happiness, both materially and spiritually. The spirit is the enjoyer, or the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer?
Actually speaking, Bhoktaram Yagnatapasham, Supreme Lord is the actual enjoyer. So when the Lord enjoys, so just like the actual consumer of the food is the stomach. But when the stomach consumes food, even the hands and legs also gets nourished. So hands and legs cannot get nourished by feeding directly. So like it has to be fed to the stomach, because stomach is the real enjoyer. So when stomach enjoys, all other parts enjoys. So in the same way, Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam. When the Lord becomes satisfied, all the parts and parcels become satisfied. So we get our enjoyment by providing enjoyment to the Lord. Like that. So that's the original, this one, like, providing enjoyment to the Lord. So when the Lord is provided enjoyment, so then naturally, like,
So when we chant, when we feel the bliss and all, so here the Lord is only enjoying the blissness and all that we experience.
See, when the bliss comes, a devotee doesn't try to enjoy the bliss.
Yeah.
So he tries to he is busy giving satisfaction to the Lord. And because he is busy giving satisfaction to the Lord, he also becomes satisfied. But he is more busy giving satisfaction to the Lord.
But when we get such bliss, we cannot do any mental speculation like, okay, this is Lord, this is not me. We will be like only listening the name. So that time, like what?
Only listening the name with the attitude of service. Service to the Lord. So it's a service to the Lord. Chanting is a service to the Lord. So I'm trying to serve Radha and Krishna through this process. Like that.
We are following them.
So when the service aspect is lost, so then this happiness will come to a material plane. And it will have a limit. And after a particular limit, it will get exhausted. But if the service aspect is maintained, so then that happiness will go on forever. So because the connection is that. So we are eternally servants of the Lord, and by rendering service to the Lord, we become happy.
Unless we have that kind of attitude, we cannot get this bliss. Like we pray for God, like unless we have that begging towards Lord, we will not get this. So ultimately, we should be like that only. There are
abhasa, there are chaya, there are so many different kinds of happiness that comes. So, but that is all not the real happiness. Because it will not develop into very strong levels of happiness. Just like this material happiness is there. So that is also appearing to be like happiness. So in the same way, in the spiritual path also, there are many side auxiliary happinesses will be there. So which appears like the spiritual happiness, but then if it is rightly followed, the process is rightly followed, then we will get the permanent happiness. Like that. Any other Questions? Okay, it's nice. So this is a very nice chapter, and please meditate on this. And the real source of happiness is on the transcendental plane. The source of happiness is the Lord, and we get happiness through control of the senses. And this body is source of misery, and this world, whatever happiness we are seeing, that's temporary. And through the senses we cannot get permanent happiness. And it's only by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. Sevan makehi jivado swayameva sparatyada. So that is very important. By engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, so we actually get happiness. Right? So this concept should be very nicely put in. Okay. So we will pause here. We'll do a small kirtan and we can proceed. Krishna. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namah. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namaste